welcome to another Thrifty Thursday, where I visit a local thrift store in search of tingly items to share with you. If you've never seen Thrifty Thursday, there are 3 basic rules that I have to follow. Rule number 1, I cannot spend over $5. Rule number 2, the item or items that I purchase have to be not only tingle-worthy, but also useful to me in my own life. And rule number 3, each time I visit the thrift store, I have to bring something of mine to donate. Something that I am no longer using, but could still be of benefit to somebody else. So, before I tell you what I donated this week and show you my purchase, I want to give you guys just a couple quick little pieces of news that are pertinent, but I'll make it quick. First of all, some of you might recall that I've mentioned that I'll be moving out of my current home in the next about a month, and so that's happening. And with that in mind, I've decided after this week, until I move, or am moved, to change the theme of Thrifty Thursday slightly. Basically, as I'm moving, I'm going to be packing things up and deciding what things to take with me and what things I would want to maybe sell or donate or throw out. So, to make that, to sort of tie that into the Thrifty Thursday series, for the next few weeks until I move, I think it's about 3 weeks, I will not be visiting the thrift store to purchase anything. I will only be visiting thrift stores for Thrifty Thursday in order to donate things that I don't want to take with me to the new place. So instead of showing you items that I found at the thrift store that week, I will instead make my Thrifty Thursday videos showing you items that I plan to donate. So, a little bit different, just thought I'd let you know, and that's gonna start next week. So there's that. And the other thing I want to talk about, I'm very excited about, as a lot of you might have noticed, I sort of have tended to keep it on the simpler side with as far as social media and what websites I utilize for connecting with you guys. So far it's just been Facebook and Instagram. But a lot of people have been requesting that I get a Twitter account, and so I am going to go ahead and do that. And I would love for you guys to follow me on Twitter. That is going to be really useful for me, because, especially this month, because this month I'm going to be having a lot of updates and exciting stuff to share with you guys. Stuff that is in the works, and yes, some of that is departure related. So you will find the my Twitter username at the end of this video, so I encourage you to follow me on Twitter. And if you have any questions or things for me, feel free to tweet at me, and I'll try my best to get back to everybody. So I'm excited about that. I feel like Twitter is a good way to put out really frequent, short little updates like the ones I'll be having here pretty soon. Better than Facebook, because I don't want to spam your Facebooks. So yeah, follow me on Twitter. So that's enough of that. Now I'm going to tell you what I donated. I had some picture frames that I was going to do a sort of arts and crafts project with, but never got around to it, and I'm probably not going to do it at the new place, so I decided to go ahead and get rid of some picture frames cubes. I think maybe 5 or 6 of them. So that's what I donated. And what I found in the spirit of Halloween, I found this gelatin brain mold to make that a Jell-O brain. I got this for a little over $4. And I got it because I thought it would be not only tingly for you guys, but also good for an event that I have coming up. Some friends of mine and I are having a sort of Halloween get-together, but it's going to be a special one. It's a murder mystery party, and we all get assigned characters in this written, I guess, murder mystery set. It's like a box set kind of thing. And we're gonna dress up in costumes, and it's gonna be kind of a dinner party. And I saw this and I thought it would be a great little thing to bring, because you fill it with Jell-O and it makes a Jell-O brain, which is cool. So I'm gonna make one of those, I think, for this party. And I'm gonna make one for you tonight as well. I'm gonna show this to you for a little bit. Maybe do some bag crinkling. But then I'm going to actually make some Jell-O and mix it up and pour it in the brain mold, and then take it out tomorrow morning and show you guys. Now, tonight I'm only going to make a regular, guess you could say, family-friendly Jell-O brain. For the party, I think I'll probably fill it with an adult beverage of some kind also. I think my friends would be pretty disappointed if I showed up with a Jell-O brain that wasn't spiked with something. But I won't be doing that this evening. And I'm gonna consider tonight's Jell-O brain making sort of a practice run for the party. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, Allie, it wasn't too long ago that you attempted another Jell-O related craft for Thrifty Thursday. It wasn't very long ago, and we still remember what an awful fail that was. And to that I say, I want to try it again. We'll see. In my defense, the tiny ice cube tray just wasn't made for tiny Jell-O cubes. This is made for Jell-O. That's what it's for. So even though that last attempt was a spectacular fail, I think maybe this will work out. some reason, one of the characters in the mystery is a sort of Cruella de Vil type person. And I think she's very heavily based on Cruella de Vil from the 101 Dalmatians. And my boyfriend's coming, and he's going to be he's going to be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'm not sure how that costume's going to work out. I think he wants to do sort of a half and half kind of a costume. But if he wants to do that, he can sew it himself, because I'm not doing it, because I don't know how. But I'm gonna try and find like a black and white two-toned wig and some long red gloves and like one of those long sort of cigarette extender things. Be Cruella. This is the first Halloween that I'll be taking my son trick-or-treating. He's never been before. He's always been too young. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've been trying to teach him how to say trick-or-treat, but he hasn't quite gotten the hang of it yet. Show it to you out of the package. Oh man, here it is. There's the inside. So yeah, you fill this up with JELL-O and make a brain, and you can make it any color you want. I'm going to try and make it look fairly realistic, so I got peach flavored JELL-O, and we'll see how that turns out. I'm glad actually that I'm doing a practice one before the party, because I've never used one of these things before. Could turn out terrible. Don't worry, I'm definitely going to watch this before I put any JELL-O in it. I had to do that. If I were watching any of you play with a big brain-shaped bowl, I would be really disappointed if you didn't try to put it on your head. it's all kind of wrinkly and brain-like. I wanted to know, after I bought this, I was curious. I wanted to know if, because I'd heard before that some stupid myth that every time you learn something new, you get a new wrinkle in your brain. So I wanted to know if that was true, so I looked it up. And I found out interesting stuff. I'm going to read it to you. Just real quick. Let's see. This says, as humans evolved as a species, our brains grew larger to accommodate all of the higher functions that set us apart from other animals. But in order to keep the brain compact enough to fit into a skull that would actually be in proportion with the rest of our body size, the brain folded in on itself as it grew. If we unfolded all of those ridges and crevices, the brain would be the size of a pillowcase. Like that. That's crazy. The ridges are called, I think I'm going to pronounce this right, maybe. I think it's pronounced gyri. And the crevices are called sulci. I really might have said that wrong. I apologize if I did. Several of these ridges and crevices even have names. And there are variations in exactly how they look from person to person. That's cool. We don't start out with wrinkly brains, however. A fetus early in its development has a very smooth little brain. As the fetus grows, its neurons also grow and migrate to different areas of the brain. Cool. Creating the sulci and gyri. Whatever. By the time it reaches 40 weeks, its brain is as wrinkled as yours is, albeit smaller, of course. So we don't develop new wrinkles as we learn. The wrinkles we're born with are the wrinkles we have for life. So, there's that myth debunked. This is interesting too. I want to read this other part to you. It says our brains do change when we learn. It's just not in the form of additional wrinkles. This phenomenon is known as brain plasticity. By studying changes in the brains of animals like rats as they learn tasks, researchers have discovered that synapses, the connections between neurons, and the blood cells that support neurons, grow and increase in number. Interesting. Some believe that we get new neurons when we make new memories, but this hasn't yet been proven in mammalian brains. No, not mammalian. Mammalian. Sorry. This hasn't yet been proven in mammalian brains like ours. Interesting. this is your brain. Tingle, 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 tingles. Tingles, 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 tingles. Tingles, tingles, tingles. This is legitimately a brain massage. Well, I think it's time that I filled up this brain and yours with JELL-O. So, I'm gonna go wash this out and grab all of my supplies, and we're gonna make ourselves a JELL-O brain. Okay guys, so I'm gonna make my JELL-O now, and I have to be kind of quick about it because this water is supposed to be technically boiling, which obviously it's not anymore, but it's very hot, so that I think will do. I've got my first packet of peach flavored JELL-O in the bowl, and I'm gonna add a second packet. And the instructions say to add 2 cups of boiling water and then 2 cups of cold water. So let's add our boiling water while it's still pretty hot. And I got the peach kind because I want it to be kind of a natural looking brain. Okay, now let's add our, I need a bigger bowl. Luckily I have a bigger bowl. I wanted it to be a natural looking color. Let me get my spoon and scribble this stuff out of here. Okay. So I want to stir that up. It smells good. It smells peachy. So you want to just stir this up until it's all sort of dissolved in there. And so the instructions, the sort of recipe I found, because I wanted to make the brain kind of look like how it looks on the package, which isn't just clear JELL-O like this would be. So I looked up how to do it, and to get that sort of opaque look, you actually want to add Cool Whip to the JELL-O. But the way you do it is, I'm going to mix up this JELL-O, and then I set this in the fridge for 1 hour. And after 1 hour, it won't be firm, but it will be a little bit thicker. It won't just be liquidy. And at that point, you add the Cool Whip. I think you add about 2 cups of it. And then mix it in. And that's when you add your JELL-O mixture to the brain mold. And let that sit for several hours. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the cold water in now. I'm glad I had this bigger bowl right next to me, because the other one definitely would have been too small for all this water. Okay. Give this a really good stir. And I'm going to let this sit in my fridge for 1 hour, and then I'm gonna come back with some Cool Whip, mix that all up in here, and then we'll add it to the brain mold. Okay. Well, I will see you guys in about 1 hour. Okay, everybody. So I've had the Jell-O sitting in the fridge for 1 hour exactly, and I have my Cool Whip all ready to go. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this in with the Jell-O and then pour it into my brain mold. The recipe I was looking at called for 2 cups of this, of the Cool Whip, but I am going with a little bit less than that. I'm going with about 1 cup and maybe a quarter, because I didn't love how the picture turned out of theirs. It was a little bit too pinky, and I want it to be like opaque and not just solid pink. So I'm going to use a little bit less of the whipped cream and see how that turns out. Okay, so I'm going to just sort of spoon some dollops of this into the Jell-O. I'm going to play with it a little bit first. I like Cool Whip. It's fun to play with. Okay. So I'm going to get a few good dollops into the mix and just see how it goes. This could be a little messy. Maybe not too bad. Okay. Lick that off. I'm gonna stir this in and see how well it mixes. It doesn't really want to mix in, stir in well, but we'll encourage it. You're actually supposed to use an electric mixer to do this, and I understand why now, but I don't have one of those, so I'm just gonna do it by hand. Just get some more in there. Okay. Okay. Scrape the last of it out of the bowl. All done. I'm going to take some of that out the side. Yep. Okay. So we'll just stir this in for a while until it is all mixed in. I think this is going to be cool. I'm excited to check it out tomorrow morning. Might have been smart to get a fork for this, but I don't have one clean at the moment. And then dishwasher. This is looking awfully brain colored, so that's good. Actually, the brain might be a little more of a grayish color. or the peach colored. I think there are other ways to do this and achieve the opaque look. I think you can use evaporated milk, possibly, but I'm trying this method. Slowly but surely, the lumps are getting smaller and smaller, but I want to do it until it's nice and smooth. This is kind of relaxing in itself. For me, I mean, just stirring and stirring. A whisk might be good also, since I don't have an electric mixer. Okay, the whisk has been a very big help in getting all those chunks out. Awesome. I think we're ready to pour this into the brain mold. Very nice. Set these aside. Now, the instructions said to spray the inside of the brain mold with some nonstick spray, which I have done. Kind of shiny. Just some regular nonstick spray. And this isn't great for sort of sitting up on its own. So I'm going to stabilize it inside this saucepan here. And now I just want to pour the mixture into the brain, but I don't want to fill it all the way to the top. I want to leave about an inch to an inch and a half of space. So here we go. Here goes nothing. Oh my god. Gross. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright. So far so good. Oh bit more, but not too much. Let me give it one more good stir in here. This is going to be very interesting. Seeing how this turns out. Okay, let's pour just a little bit more into the mold. Okay. And I think that will about do it. There's a little bit left over, but that's alright. Okay. So here is the beginning of my JELL-O brain. I am going to just rest this in here. I want to make sure it's nice and stable though, so that it's even. So I'm going to go put this in the fridge and let it firm up, and in the morning I will get it out and see what I've got, and turn the camera on, and we'll see. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a few hours. Alright guys, so here is my awesome creation. This has been sitting in the fridge all night, and actually most of today, because I couldn't film right when I wanted to. But so yeah, here it is. I am very, very pleased with how this came out. I'll try and get it closer. So here's my wiggly, jiggly JELL-O brain. I think that when I make this again for the party, it's going to be a big hit. This came out great. Oh my god, it's so gross. I haven't tried it yet. I've just kind of been poking at it. But yeah, this has been sitting in my refrigerator, and I'm very, very proud of it. I think we can all agree that this JELL-O project turned out much better than the last one. And I have a fork here because I'm going to definitely take a bite out of it. I hope this isn't grossing anybody out, but it's Halloween time. It's that time of year. It's the time for really disgusting, creepy looking food items. Oh, yuck. I'm also really pleased with how the color came out. It's a little dark in here, so it's probably not perfectly color accurate on your screen, but it is just the perfect kind of like peachy, gross, flesh colored pink kind of thing. So I haven't tried any other colors, like, or flavors, I mean, like strawberry or watermelon, but I know that if you are going for this kind of fleshy pink color, then peach flavored JELL-O is the way to go. I recommend it, and I think I did the right thing by not adding a full 2 cups of Cool Whip, and leaving you know, cutting that in half and leaving out a cup, because it isn't too, what's the word, opaque, I guess. It's got a little bit of opacity, but enough to where it looks like an organ. Oh god, it's so gross. This is really, I'm touching it, it's all slimy. My hands are clean, I promise. As always, I want to apologize for noisy neighbors if you can hear the talking in the background. I'm not sure if you can, but I can. The new place that I found, I checked it out, and it's, from what I can gather, very, very quiet, which I'm very pleased about. Okay. Well, I absolutely have to take a bite out of this brain, because what's the point if I don't? What's the point otherwise? So I'm gonna take a bite out of it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't particularly love JELL-O and gelatin things. But of course I have to try it. This is your brain. This is your brain on tingles. That was lame. Okay, I'm gonna take, oh gosh, I'm gonna take a bite. Okay. Where should I take it? I guess right here is good enough. Oh god. Ew. Here's my little bite of brain that I'm gonna take. Here we go. Whew. Gross. Not bad. It just tastes like peach. It's actually not super flavorful. Yeah, it's slimy. Jiggly. Okay, last bite. I think my son is going to enjoy playing with this. Oh god, okay. Here we go. Last bite. Ugh. Yeah, it's tolerable. It'll be much better when it has some vodka in it or something. Alright, everybody, well, we have gone through this experience together now. Maybe you've picked up a new Halloween skill. Now you know how to make a JELL-O brain with a mold, and how to get it to that perfect pinky, fleshy brain color. You're welcome. And I hope that you've enjoyed this week's Thrifty Thursday in the Halloween spirit. Don't forget that you can now follow me on Twitter. My username will be at the end of this video. And I'll be seeing you guys again very soon. Good night. I have this really cool box set book that has a lot of great information on the band and its history, and it has a lot lot of really cool photos and illustrations, and it also includes a lot of kind of memorabilia items like ticket stubs and concert posters and things like that.